Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We've got a cool homebrew as per usual today. Mono white counters with all kinds of cool synergies, buffing ourselves up and drawing a bunch of cards and blowing opponents out with combat tricks. And you know, these Mr. Foundries, shout out to these guys. They do a ton of work. So we're going to go over the interactions as we go over them in the game, and then a little bit more at the end for a full breakdown of the deck. Hope you guys enjoy this one. It's really cool. Thanks for watching. Let's see what kind of shenanigans we could pull off with this deck here. Well, we got a one-lander for opening hand. Don't think we'll be keeping this. Unfortunate, but hey, we're on the play, so anytime you see the play on an aggro deck, you're very happy. I mean, I call it an aggro deck. Doesn't look like it with this hand. I hate to mull twice, especially on the play, but everything has just been unplayable so far. This looks alright. We'll put back an Elspeth and a Foundry and just try to jam with 2 lands. It's the only functioning hand we actually drew. Like, it was pretty much unkeepable before this, so... Looks like we're against mono blue. Which is honestly pretty good, considering that we got to go on the play. There's no way they counter this. They're holding up Consider or something. Maybe Fading Hope. Yeah, Fading Hope. Alright. If we hit an untapped land, we are in good shape here. We just turn the man land into a creature and attack, and then that trains the initiate. Alright. So we just hope to dodge a second Fading Hope here. Nice. Yeah, you don't want to cast your 2-drop again into mono blue, especially when they have the 2 mana untapped. It's unwise, you know. You're gonna get it countered, and then you're gonna have a bad time. And we're here for a good time, not a long time. So we get to smash in there, 4 damage, but that's only going up. The initiate has trained. Almost want to just jam for 4 damage again here, right? Like, it's not like we're gonna cast anything into 3 untapped mana, all blue. So let's just do it again for 4. It's too bad he's not going to train any larger. But 4 damage is still 4 damage. Chip away. Not feeling too good. Had to mull twice. Hit 1 land drop. That was clutch. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that 1 land drop. Impulse into another Consider. Yeah, he could be dropping a really cheap Tolarian Terror or a really big Djinn here with a mana up. We need to hit a Plains so that we can lay down arms for 1 and target the Djinn. That would be good. Because then he could make disappear the first one, and then I just target him again. So what are we going to do now? Let's start by attacking for 2. And just try to resolve the Assembler. Shame. That's okay. We're pretty sure he had it. And he did. So now does he jam the Djinn? The Djinn would be a 5/4 flyer for 3. It's pretty good. Yeah, there it is. Now, does he have 2 counter spells or protection spells? Alright, well, irrelevant because he tapped right out. So I think this is really lucky for us that opponent played the way he did, because here we get to even pay the ward cost on the Terror. Oh, right, no, it's actually a 7 CMC card. Nowhere near to targeting that with our Plains, but, you know, Plains that lay down arms. We're gonna need another 4 Plains before we can hit that bad boy. Most of the lands in the deck are Plains, but we do have 2 Mishra's Foundry and 1 Aganjo, because I think the versatility of these man lands makes it worth lay down arms being a little bit worse. Alright, well, that's good. So we're gonna just go with 4 white and hope that Clay Champion resolves. Any lucky? Any lucky? Probably not, but come on. Nah, no lucky. That's too bad. If that lands, then you put 2 counters on both of the creatures, right? So then this is a 3/3 and this is a 5/4, and then we're in really good shape, but I think I'm just gonna do no blocks. I don't want to chump and lose my guys when they're all gonna grow and be better when the wedding announcement flips here. So let's just pass and try to get some good blocks off on opponent. Always scary that he could have some fading hopes, but we have a good double block and 1 triple block. Might not be expecting us to crew this Mishra's Foundry up. So even if he has 1 fading hope, it's not going to be a complete blowout. He could only save 1 of his creatures. Let's see, let's see. How does this play out? Oh, okay. No tricks. Very nice. We love to see it. So he attacks the mana there. I'm surprised. I think Hopeful Initiate's pretty good. And we are just not drawing what we want at all. But we're jamming for 5, so that's cool. Land go. Opponent holding up 3 counter spells. Can't do anything. What? We slow rolled him. Patiently used the Foundry. Good game, brother. Alright, well, we really squeaked out that win, luckily. A lot went wrong. We had double mulligan. We drew all 4 laydown arms, 3 of which we just could not cast at all. But we still ended up winning by being patient. See, there's a point in that game where you just feel like scooping because it's mono blue and, you know, they have a bunch of cards in hand. But once Wedding Festivities resolved and I was able to kill the Djinn, that was his turn of basically screwing himself over. The turn he cast the Djinn, then he used his last 2 mana to cast a Tolarian Terror. He should have just protected the Djinn, because we know he has a bunch of counter spells in hand, right? Like, that's all he was doing, and he just let us beat him down. So no interaction, no creatures. It could only be counter spells. So opponent made a little misplay, and it let us get the win there. So yeah, interesting game there with the mono blue deck. Didn't really showcase what our deck could do, but nothing to complain about since we won, right? Gotta love winning. This hand's not proactive, but it's got 3 lands, and I mean, it's playable. We've got something to do turn 2. We'd rather play creatures turn 2 than this invasion, because we want to be, like I said, proactive in this deck, kind of coming at them, and then this invasion hopefully hit something like a Wandering Emperor or a Farewell or something that's gonna, you know, save them and put them back into the game. Now, mono black land go. I was just talking about the proactiveness. Like, you want to play this Dusk Legion Duelist and the next turn Siege Veteran start putting counters on it, draw cards every turn, right? That's super good. But in this case, I'm gonna want to have a peek at opponent's hand, because, like, let's be real. He certainly has a mitt full of removal, and we'd rather this Duelist stick around. So I kind of want to take his proactive play out of here. I think I will. I think I'll just take the Trespasser. It's a tough creature for us to fight. Path of Peril is pretty good. It does kill the Duelist. But now that we have information on about what's going on in his hand, we could play around that. Entice him to play to our favor. So, Siege Veteran's dead. Shielded Edict comes out. And then he just goes land Obliterator. How can we deal with that? Oh, he actually draws the Dross and goes with that instead. Well, we gotta get a whole bunch of planes here so that we can kill that. So we'll fetch one to our hand, and we'll put both these on the bottom because they're not planes. But then again, Wandering Emperor can take care of the Dross. So maybe we'll leave that there. And we'll resolve this initiate. So there's the other Obliterator. I just want to just go ahead and let's do this. Let's get another planes and then scry and gain 2 more life. Now we got 4 planes. We don't need them anymore, even though we wanted them then. Now we don't, but that's okay. Find them when you don't want them. See you later, Obliterator. On gains 3. Get that down to 2. And let's see, does he cast his Graveyard Trespasser now? If he removes the last counter from this, he loses the game. So that is pretty relevant. And if there are no oil counters, so it's the very turn that he removes the last one. We'll pass here. I'll play Archfiend of the Dross as my win condition here, right? 3, 4, 5, 6. So he could actually just blow up all creatures here. And he absolutely has to. So let's just do this. Chump block with the Hopeful Initiate. His opponent has to realize, right, that if he untaps, he loses the game. So he's going to board wipe to keep himself alive. Okay, that's good. And now we'll do this. And maybe stabilize? I don't know, but like we definitely have some good card draw going here. Alright, because every turn we'll put a counter on the Legion Duelist and that'll draw us an extra card. This invasion is dead, so every turn, every creature that attacked will get another counter. And I mean, hey, our board state is wild. He needs a Path of Peril in hand to stabilize. And to play around that, I mean, well, this gives Indestructible, so actually we have played around that. Let's go, dude. I think we got him. He would need to fare well, because Indestructible is massive. Oh, no. Oh, but that's Destroy. Okay, okay. So Destroy won't do it. Let's just, let's get super aggressive. I think we did have lethal by next turn if I play it out like that. All white. We'll grow this guy twice. This guy twice. Oh. We'll attack with all. And at the end step, they'll all get another counter. And that should set us up for lethal next turn, right? Plus the card draw from the wedding announcement, plus the card draw from the Duelist. We're doing the thing, guys. We're doing the thing. Stable at 3 life. So what? Destroy all each non-land permanent. And then in response, we give all of our stuff indestructible. See you later, bud. Jam, jam, jam. Ah, he scoops too quickly before I could jam it in there. GG. So hey, that one really felt like our deck showcased what it does, so happy with that W. Let's go next. Oh, we're pretty happy with this hand. It has a turn 2 play. If we hit one more land, basically any draw is good. We want lands to get to these planeswalkers that are very powerful. And if we draw small creatures, we're also happy. Wedding announcement, perfect. We wanted something nice to do turn 3. If opponent plays a 2-drop creature, we're also quite happy with that. Yeah, that's really good for us. I kind of just think we, oh look, we get to do it all here. So 1 mana, kill your creature. 1 mana, play a creature. Attack, 1 mana, grow my creature. Isn't that nice? That was a huge turn. Very hard to deal with on the play. Or like, you know, when you're on the draw, hard to deal with that kind of start on the play out of opponent. So let's attack with both. This is going to train the initiate. See what kind of blocks opponent might have for us. Decides to take 5. I think it's time to just play the wedding announcement down and draw a card for having attack with 2 creatures. I'd be surprised to see a spell pierce here. I think that his 1 mana is probably a blue spell that protects himself. You know, gives it hexproof or phases it out. You know, put a counter on it, phases it out till end of turn. Card. Forget what it's called, but we all know it. We've all seen it. Okay, good. We want lands. Next turn, we probably just play land attack with all again. This initiate's going to continue to train. This guy's pretty good. If he goes wide all of a sudden, it can really poop out some damage quite quickly. He drew 2 cards off that. Not bad. And many fading hopes to stabilize. It's good. That's a very good opponent. So he jams in for 5. That is tempting, actually. So, like, we have plays here. I can put the 2 counters and give him double strike. That makes him a 3, so 3 double strike is 6. And then with the other mode, I could make a 2/2. Probably scry 2, gain 2 life. But I kind of want to just kill the Storm Chaser Drake while he's tapped out. I think this is going to be the play. It's a bit more passive, but... You know, opponent did deal a solid 7 damage to us last turn, or was it just 5? I think just 5, actually. We have the board state. You know, this not only kills the guy that was probably the biggest threat on the board, because if he keeps drawing cards, then that's his engine. But also, it's going to take an attack from opponent, because he almost surely kills the Emperor now, which will protect our life total. You might think, well, it's only 1 damage that you're avoiding, but, you know, he's playing a prowess deck. He's full of instants and sorceries. He really wants to hit us. So he actually chooses to ignore the Emperor, which is good for us. How much damage does he actually have here? You know, he could cast a spell that gives it +3/+0, and then it gets the extra +1, so 4 or 5. I don't know. Just 1 damage? That's questionable. I don't want to put too many eggs in the same basket here, but I do want to gain some life. Opponent attacking us. Maybe he was doing some math, thinking he could squeeze out exactly 16 next turn. So he had to hit that for 1. I don't want to hit our land next turn, so that we could cast this Elspeth. We're now resolve this. We'll plus right here on the human, and then when this attacks, it's a 3/3 double strike that'll train the initiate. Gotta take advantage of those training triggers, get them whenever you can. And then we'll draw a card from the wedding announcement and have a chump blocker for the Festival Crasher. And then if opponent doesn't kill us this turn, which should be tough, right? I mean, we're on 18 with a good blocker, 2/3 blocker. then we just win. Oh, so he goes wide, okay. So, I mean, maybe he has it. That's a lot of stuff, man. That's a lot of stuff. And he starts, you know, opting into cantrip. They all gain trample. Block the biggest one. I know it's a 1-3 right now, but it will be the biggest one. 8-3 trample. Another spell. Shock to my face. Is it lethal? Let's find out. Woo! Way lethal. Way lethal. Good game, man. Hey, I got no problems losing like that, brother. That was a well-fought game. So let's see. Could I have played it differently there? I could have not attacked last turn. I had 7 toughness on board to do some more blocks and to protect my life total. Though they wouldn't have been very good blocks. I think we were just dead there, missing the land drops. The best thing would have been if we could hit the land drop. We play the Elspeth and gain some life. Gain 4 life. No, not really. I don't really see any outs here. Even if we did hit the land drop, we would have had to somehow remove this this battle mage, because the 2 triggers here, the antagonize and the play with fire, it gave his whole team +2/+2, and then trample as well. Really well played, opponent. Well played. I love to lose like that. GG. All right, let's see. We're on the play with a good hand. No, not this time. Opponent goes first. Hand sucks, you know? Hand sucks. We don't like this. Too much high end, not enough lands. Bad mix, bad mix. You know, playing this deck, it makes me feel like something's got to go. Either the laydown arms and the clay champions for something better, or the Mishra's Foundry. Because Mishra's Foundry, it just messes too many things up, right? It messes up laydown arms, and it messes up clay champion. So as good as it is, I don't think the upside's worth it. And I actually think that Mishra's Foundry is better than laydown arms and clay champion. So I think I'm going to be doing some deck editing after this game. It just feels too clunky every time. All this. This is sadly better somehow. Wandering Emperor, definitely the better planeswalker when compared to Angel Speth. Hello, buddy. How you doing? It appears to be your turn, my friend. Tropod. Come on there, bud. Nice, you figured it out. Oh, wow, what a fast turn. Respect. Respect to the opponent here. We land. Oh, draw a 3rd land in a row. Alright. Well, we just drew land, so now we know opponent had a good choice of 2 beauty cards there. What else can we do, right? Happy that this resolved. Another Siphon Insight from opponent. Maybe he's going to cast a Elspeth or something from our library here. Show me what you got, boy. Do it. Just do it. Sacrifice a creature token. Well, it doesn't seem very good, but I mean, you do you, brother. 2-mana counterspell? Not even. Alright. So, like, do we assume opponent has a counter spell here? Probably, right? Like, no, not a counter spell. I mean a board wipe. I think we have to. He's got no counter spell. Except the 5 mana. He hasn't cast like anything really. I don't want to play out the initiate for nothing. It's just gonna get blown up, I think. So. It would have fallen under that characteristic, creatures of power 2 or less, so glad to have done it that way. Jam for 4. You know, if he has another one, another Gix's command, that will wipe the board, but at least we'll still have the Mishra's Foundry and the Emperor on 2. So stabilizing will be easy. Soul transfers. Okie doke. Alright, so here's how we'll do it. We'll crew the Foundry, we'll put the counter onto the Foundry, and that'll train the Initiate. It also dodges Gopher Throat because it's an artifact. That's what I'm talking about, right? Mishra's Foundry is kind of a hero in the deck. But it just doesn't jive with Lay Down Arms. Alright. Alright, control McGee. Gonna try to beat me with my own deck? I don't like that. Oh, Breach the Multiverse. I don't like that either. Okay, he's got a Shielded in his own. And a Siege Veteran from me. Probably Shielded and Siege Veteran then. Seems that way. Well, that's not too bad actually. Lay Down Arms, see a Shielded. Crew the Foundry, get in for a bunch of damage. Like, opponent doesn't even gain any life here. Hell yes, hell yes. Doesn't cut it, buddy. Another Emperor. Alright, so let's Lay Down Arms this guy. Through this. And I'm pretty sure that it already trains, right? It's got 4. So let's just attack for 8. See if opponent wants to chump block. He does. And let's minus this guy with another Emperor to cast if he board wipes. Perfect. Efficient use of the mana there. I don't think that saves you. A -3, it's not very good. If you don't have a bunch of creatures or permanents. What kind of permanents have we seen? Invasion of Amonkhet? Liliana? That's it. So my bet's on one of those two. What is this? Oh, Founding of the Third Path? Oh, that's what it was. Okay, mill me 4 cards. I think I'm gonna cast the Emperor here. Yeah, good game. We did it. Let's do some quick deck editing right now though before we jump into the next clip. I want the deck to jive a little bit better. So the thing that sucks the most is the Lay Down Arms is good removal for 1 a lot of the time. But I'd rather commit to the Mishra's Foundry. We've seen how much work they do, right? So let's commit to those, come down these, and then let's try to get some more proactive stuff going on. Or I guess we need actually maybe some interaction now, because now that we cut those 4 cards, as far as interaction, all we have really is this invasion. Look at their hand. Not very good, is it? Maybe a Silification? 2 mana, get rid of creatures or planeswalkers. Fateful Absence is an option too, but I don't think it's as good as Silification. I think that's what it'll be, just as a quick little thing off the top of my head. Still went right by it. There it is. Ossification. I play 4 of them? I'm gonna play 3 and I get in there with one more 1-drop of some sort. Sea Treacherin cares about soldiers. This is a soldier. Frontliner? He's not bad. I really like the frontliner. The Dune Shaper's honestly not bad either. Recruitment officer, I like him. What's you guys' take on a good 1-drop that doesn't really care about, you know, creature types or anything else? I don't actually hate this guy. You know, he's a 1/1 first strike for 1, which is pretty good when you're growing him, which we can tend to be, right? We have a lot of things that put counters on. And then he also comes back for 4. He's kind of just later game gas. You know what? I'm down for this. I'm absolutely down for this. Let's try it. So, I feel really happy with these changes. Let's hop into a game right now and see where it leads us. Alright. Here we are 2 seconds later, right after changing the deck. Opponent takes 1 maul and then keeps. We like the look of this hand here. We love Duelist into Siege Veteran. We also have some interaction with Ossification, which I will not be doing right now. If I'd rather him ramp with Shigeki once and start drawing cards right away. Probably has instant speed removal here. But now that that's resolved, if this dies, it does at least give us a 1/1, so... Hey, not the worst thing, honestly. Opponent already playing proactive, even though he was on the play. Not bad out of opponent there. Not bad at all. But he's gonna have to hit some land drops and work his way to some board wipes or something, because this is spelling trouble for him already. Alright. Good amount of ramp. Maybe next turn opponent battles for Zendikar. Invasions for Zendikar, whatever. Whatever. Alright. I'll do it like this. We'll jam for 6, put a counter there and draw. He trains, we love it. We are susceptible to a board wipe like this, though. Gix's command will clear us. We didn't see one get milled, but this is exactly the type of deck I expect to play Gix's command. Honestly, just to play around Gix's command, do we do this? I think so. We put a counter there, and we scry 2, we'll put this land to the bottom. We're not interested in that right now. At least this way, if he does Gix's command, we get to keep Dusk Legion Duelist. Looks like he didn't have a land drop for it anyways. Not bad. Let's just get aggressive. Crew up. Go to combat. Put the counter here. Draw a card. Attack. Train. And blocks the damage. Blocks the most. takes 10 here. So if it is Gix's command, I think we still win. What else could it be? Let's find out. Black land obliterator into a fight spell. Who else is worried? That would do it, right? Like you sack a bunch of stuff. Oh, I guess I have 5 lands. I could sack all my lands and still win on board. Yeah, so sorry, buddy. You served us well. Just the counter there, yeah. But we have the removal spell. GG, man, GG. Yeah, deck felt good after the quick little edit. I like it. I like what we did to it. Too many times when like what am I trying to say here? When you have anti-synergies in your deck, like the way that Lay Down Arms was anti-synergizing with Mishra's Boundary, that's okay. It's not a horrible thing to have a few anti-synergies, as long as the cards are good and do their things as well. When they're constantly bucking heads and just messing up your interaction, then you know that you have to do some changes there. I'll go put back the chap lane. Although it would have been kind of nice to go turn two more 1-drops. Alright. Opponent, plat 1, really wants to win. Maybe he's almost diamond. Us, on the other hand, we've just been messing around with creating new decks. Alright, so he's on a counters deck, just like us. And I could flip this right now, right? So this is definitely the play. Let's take a look at his hand. Oh yeah, this is a win for sure, right? So this could come down next turn, so I'm just going to take this as it's his only 3-drop. And if he has nothing to do next turn, that puts us in really good shape. Let's go ahead. Oh man, this is the dream right here. Attack that with both. Train, get a counter. That flips. These both get another counter. And then I draw a card from that getting a counter. Ooh, man. I think this is the nut draw. Like, seriously, we mulled once, but like this is the nuts. I don't think we could have a better hand. Wow. So just to like, you know, go over it a little bit more. I know it was a 2-second game, but that was some serious stuff. We take out opponent's only 3-drop, so he has nothing to play, right? If he doesn't draw specifically a 3-mana or less creature or interaction spell, he just goes land pass, at which point we play Kayla's Command, put the counter on the duelist, so it's a 4 double strike, so it's 8, and then it trains both of these, so then this is 8 and 4 and 2 more, 6, it's 14 damage, like woo, 14 damage, draw a card from that as well, getting the counter. Then at the end they each get a counter because they all attacked. And then, no matter what he does, you could sack this at any time to give them indestructible and hexproof. It's unbeatable. That was the nut draw. All right, so that would have been a pretty good place to end off with the deck really doing its thing, but we're having a good time, so let's play one more just for fun, for shits and giggles, as we say. We're gonna keep this one. We're quite happy with a perfect curve and 3 lands. If anybody's interested, I do have one more Arena pre-release code here that no one's claimed. So if you have not claimed a pre-release, this is good for 6 March of the Machine booster packs on Arena. Just leave a comment and leave your username in the comment. I'll add you in-game and send you the code. So we have a look at his hand here. And looks like it's the poison deck, right? So We're just going to take his only creature. The Rat Priest costs 1 more now. That's good for us. I could actually kill that next turn by putting the double strike on him. So I'm actually going to attack him. I know it's my goal. I'm sorry. I'm talking and thinking about arena codes and about your hand and about what my next turn is going to be. Okay, I was actually thinking. I wasn't just messing around. I wasn't slow rolling, I promise. Let's create a 2/2 here. No, I think it's time to search for library. Search our plans for library. Make sure we hit our land drops next turn. Kill it. So he could have -1'd it there. Wow, but come on, that wasn't scoop worthy, dude. Well, we said we wanted to play 1 more, so let's just get right in there. Let's not count that as 1 more, right? Come on. Just 1 more game, Mom. You played your game, get off. Yeah, well, that one doesn't count because I say so. And I'm an adult. Opponent bleeds blue 3. Interesting. I think this is too slow, right? I mean, it does have good removal, but I mean, Nick, come on, 2 lands? 2 lands and a 5-drop? Nah, we don't like that. Yeah, this is better. I'll put one of these duelists back. Put a duelist back and hope to hit something that puts counters or, you know, some more high-end. But 3 lands, we feel a lot better than 2. We don't want to foolishly be keeping hands that lose us the game. We've already done that once this video. I don't know if I made it into the video or not. I kept a 4-land hand. I just drew 4 lands in a row and scooped. Sometimes I cut games if they're really bad, right? Naturally. I think everybody gets that. So he takes a duelist from our hand, and we top deck an amazing card for us here. Having mauled on the play and then been the victim of targeted removal out of the hand. Discard removal. If he hits our siege veteran here or dresses us or something, we'd be absolutely miserable. But that's not the case. So pretty happy with this right now. We get to card draw. Alright. And we'll pass. We don't want to lose this duelist for a harvester. Not worth. Opponent should sack the harvester to kill the siege veteran, as it is a good source of counters for the board here. Opponent thinking hard. Understandable, he's got decisions. That's the good move. And then if he has a go for throat, he should just hold it up for the duelist. Kind of scared of opponent's Rakdos deck here, not gonna lie. Like a shielded coming down next turn is pretty tough for us to beat. Now that we lost all our laydown arms, we're gonna have to hit an ossification. Gets rid of a slow land. Okay, so that's good. If he doesn't have removal. Oh, duress. Okay, it doesn't hit. Whiffs. Phew. Yeah, some more hand hate here. That could have been the end of us as well. Mistress Foundry, though. Like, we could crew this and pump it with this for 4, 7, 8. 8 damage is pretty good, but I don't think opponent's playing board wipes, so instead, let's just play out our whole stuff, get in for 4. Yeah, there's the shielder that I was saying is going to be hard to beat, and it is. But an untapped land off the top isn't the worst. Let's go. Let's just jam in on opponent here and see what he does. Yeah, so giving it +2/+2, that's just not going to cut it. Let's put a permanent counter onto this guy. So we hit him for 8, but then he gains 2, so we only really hit him for 6. Yeah, I don't think we're going to jam through this. We knew shielded would be hard to beat. Oh, it gains another life from land. Oh, man. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The opponent's gained 5 life here. I love that incidental life gain. I do jam a couple decks with a lot of incidental life gain, and that stuff adds up quick, I tell ya. Ah, he reads the Foundry. He knows that my Mishra's Foundry can indeed pump him up by 1 more than expected. So we hit for 6. I mean, it's something, right? It's something. But no spells cast, so the Glutton will flip as a result. We don't like that. One creature in graveyard. I think we'll chump block with Chaplain of Alms and then cast it, right, from the graveyard. Cost 4 to disturb it. 2 in the air. It's pretty good. I think we're playing well to our outs here, guys. Alright, let's go with just... Oh, no. No. Next attacks. Just this guy again. And so he will jump block it. In response, we'll put 1 counter on him. No need to use 2 more mana there. We'll get wide. Play this out too, why not, right? Let him know. We got no tricks, brother. We got no tricks. Mirror Breaker. That could really help him if he's got a couple lands in hand or something. He needs to get deeper into his deck. More proactive stuff. Now, can I just start jamming with all again? I don't think so. I do kind of want to draw a card off Wedding Announcements more than I want to make a 1/1 though. And he has a chump blocker. I would be pretty happy if Chaplains of Alms died. Oops. Keep doing that. Alright, let's attack with these 3. Right? One of them dies, we get to cast it. That's decent. Maybe it's time he just blocks the Assembler while he takes no damage. He just doesn't want us to cast it from the graveyard. But what about the chump block on the Assembler? I think opponent made a mistake here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for Xaxes. I don't know if we had him either way, but this way was definitely not the way, brother. Yeah, sir. Yes, sir. All right, good game, good game. Let's wrap it up. Let's get the hell out of here. Let's do a quick breakdown of the deck and call it a video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. It was good games, good games. A little sneak peek of what's to come too right here. I got some really fun decks. John Dragons, Dragon Aggro, Rakdos Dragons, all kind of different. This one is a Rakdos Beats deck. I love them all, but this mono white counters deck, I just built it like an hour ago and it jammed really well, so I wanted to share. So the idea here, of course, was I just kind of typed in counters and I brought in all the good stuff. Really get good use out of Kyla's command in this deck, as it'll draw you a card often if you have a duelist, and fetching out planes out of your deck is often a good thing for you know, casting your strong planeswalkers. The -3 ability on this Elspeth, pretty successful in this deck, you know, hitting Wedding Announcements a lot of time. You know, we did just put Ossification in, but this is a positive synergy that we've just discovered, because now you could -3 to hit removal on a creature. It's really relevant sometimes, right? -3, look at the top 7, try to hit removal. That's pretty good odds. We saw the Nuts game was when you go initiate into duelist into invasion of Gobakon with no interaction from opponent, and then you instantly flip this, and then they each get, this trains from the first attack, then they both get a counter, which gives this another card draw, and then they, it just really spirals out of control. Wandering Emperor, really, really powerful as a combat trick, but also as instant speed removal. You don't have to -2 in this deck as often as you get to flash it in +1. As you flash it in, +1 it, put it on the duelist on their turn, right? This only gets 1 card draw per turn, but you could do it on your turn and their turn to resolve in 2 per turn cycle, which is a lot better, right? Like you have Siege Veteran out, you put it on this guy on their turn, or on your turn, you attack. It's got Vigilant, so it can still block. You flash in the Emperor, plus it, block with First Strike. Really nice. Otherwise, a little bit of soldier synergy too. Like these two are soldiers, so he cares about this being a soldier. We saw that be relevant a couple of times, leaving behind 1/1s as board wipe protection. Almost always you're going to cast this Assembler as a 2-drop. And finally, the Mistress Foundries. These cards are gold. We saw it in the first game beat up the mono blue deck almost single-handedly. It just does so much work. Once you start putting counters on it too, it makes it way more worth recrewing it on your later turns, because you're paying 2 mana not for a 2/2 till end of turn, and it avoids board wipes quite well, as well as synergizing well with not only counters on it, but also the wedding announcement flipping into wedding festivities. That also buffs it up. And so the last thing I want to touch on is the double strike ability from the Kyla's command. We didn't really get to see a creature get quite big and then give a double strike, but we did get to see a few creatures get pretty big. Like we saw one of our duelists get to 5/5, and we saw this assembler be a 6/7. So all of a sudden, when you have a 6/7 and then you go ahead and give it a counter and double strike it, it's a 7/6 double strike that could also put a counter on itself when it attacks. So then it's going to be a 8 double striking for 16. The deck really can pull out lethal out of nowhere with this Kayla's command. And then other times you just want to gain life with it and scry too and kind of fix yourself up. So I really like this card, even though it doesn't see much play. I think it's worth playing. Probably the least used mode on it is create a 2/2, but even that's quite good sometimes when you need a jump blocker. And for real, the last thing I want to touch on is Hopeful Initiate, removing counters from him to destroy things. So relevant and so good against Bankbuster when they go to crew him in response. We only got to do it once in this video, I believe, but I have done it a bunch with this deck when playtesting it earlier in the day, so definitely really good interaction that I enjoy. Thank you everybody very much for watching. If you do want this arena code one more time, just leave a comment and say, hey, I want the code. I've got one left, so first person asks for it, I will send it to you. Cheers, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe.